All right, uh, let's get rolling with our first session of cloud networks. And by the way, this is Ravi Teja. A quick brief about myself. I am a cloud and network solution architect. All right, um, and I do have good experience on routing and switching multiple firewalls. Luckily, such as Cisco, ASA, FTD, FortiGate, Checkpoint. All right, and the cloud native firewalls, whether it is AWS or Azure or GCP. All right, and I worked on SD-WAN. I work on cloud security, and I do know a little bit on cyber security. Definitely. All right. So as I told, this channel is focused purely for the aspiring cloud engineers who wanted to get into the networking field, and it will definitely help the existing engineers who has a good experience in the networking or even the cloud networking, because here we focus on the real-time implementations instead of getting into a course mode, because you will get the course modes in multiple flavors, but the real-time from multiple tutors, but the real-time implementations are very rare. So that's what you will see predominantly on AWS and Azure cloud networking. All right. So yes, before we begin, just a word like feel free to like, share, and subscribe. All right. If you feel this is useful, and also don't forget to give the feedback in the comment section. What needs to be improved and what not, and then uh, the topics also, so that I make content accordingly. All right. So let's get quickly going with today's session. And don't feel bad that you're seeing a PPT on the screen. I'm not a PPT guy for sure, and I hate PPTs, to be very honest. All right, but uh, just for your reference, as you get to know about cloud networking more, you also need to understand the shift. Why are we moving from on-prem to cloud, and what is on-premises versus cloud networking? So that's where today we are going to concentrate. So let's see. Um, Moving to the next slide. So this is the day one of this training series of cloud networks. So stay with me. Okay. I just prepared for you, just for your reference. Okay. So what is on-premises? Hosted in your data center. So infrastructure resides physically within the organization own facilities, the physical hardware and total ownership. And the reality, on-prem means you buy it, you build it, you manage it, you fix it. Okay, so let me put it very simple instead of this, PPT format, just for your understanding. I'll just put in a normal layman term. Let's see. Okay. So, yeah. In a just layman terms, as you have seen on my slide, it is you. All right. You do everything at on-prem. All right. I'll come to the CSP. What does it mean? See, it's just as simple as that. You bought a land, all right. You build a house. You means you or your team or whatever it is, all right. So You design it, interiors, exteriors, you maintain it, you manage it, you refurbish it, okay, and you secure it with the locks or either with security if you have more money in your house. All right, end of the day, it's you who takes care of your entire on-prem or your house. That is what, and of course the electricity maintenance. Okay, so on-premises network meaning that you do everything, whether it is in routers, switches, firewalls, servers, internet links, blah blah blah. Everything is your responsibility, and you are responsible to make it happen up and running fine. Okay, but just a point here. Why are you building a data center, and what is the need to have a data center? Okay, ultimately it's a service. So why are you building a home? You want it to stay there and feel happy, right? Or you might want it to rent it to someone and get money on it. So you are rendering a service. The objective of any business is to sell the services. All right. Today you talk about Flipkart, Amazon, whatever e-commerce website or any website for that case. You only know, or IRCTC, just take an example of IRCTC. All right. You only know that you are accessing an application, but underneath the application there are multiple layers. Okay, and that's called networking or infra. You host your application on a virtual machine or a physical machine, and that machine is hosted on a bare metal server, and that is connected to a core switch, and the core switch is connected to the firewall, and the firewall is connected to an ISP link. Okay, the thing what you see is tip of an iceberg. The application at the top what you see is tip of an iceberg, but down the lane you have multiple layers where networking supports the applications. So on-prem is as simple as that. The responsibility of application and the infrastructure and everything is your responsibility. Okay, now coming back to CSP. CSP is nothing but cloud service provider, whether it is AWS, Azure, GCP, Oracle, whatnot. The same thing, all right. You will have everything. I'm just putting only one box. I want to draw everything, all right. Everything, whatever here you have, the same will be here. Let's take this as XYZ. Okay, X, Y, Z. Okay, your responsibility. Now on the cloud, what you do here is all right, and this is service. It's a service, all right. Very simple, very straightforward. Cloud is a shared responsibility model. Okay, and you need not to buy your land, house, etc., etc. You need not to maintain or manage the security standards and everything. Okay, what on the cloud, the ease on the cloud is you can concentrate on your services. However, the hardware procurement, the hardware provisioning, maintenance, security, certifications, blah blah blah, is the responsibility of the cloud service provider. Okay, now what I do, I'll just put my flipkart.com, the website. I'll just host this service on a VM or anything. All right. And I'm not concerned about the underlying infrastructure. My concentration is only to develop that application and get the business done. As simple as that. Okay. So going back, on-prem means you buy it, you build it, manage it, and fix it. That's it. I hope it's clear. Okay. Now, what are the infrastructure components on the cloud networking? See, it doesn't change much. It is the way how you define and only the hardware. The switching hierarchy, the core, distribution, and access layers are the physical network backbone. That's your responsibility, and it is at on-prem. And the perimeter firewalls, it is there. And the connectivity, whether you use MPLS, lease lines, or dedicated internet links. Okay, but if you're just new to the networking, and maybe if you don't know about on-prem networking, just a simple thing. What does it mean? See, as on day to day system. Okay, so nowadays, if you don't know about all these things, right? Just a plain and simple example. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. So what are you doing nowadays? You have a cell phone. Okay, you're sitting at your home, right? You are enjoying the Wi-Fi. Okay, but you have a router at your home or a modem. The Wi-Fi router you have at home. All right, and that's the network device which allow you to connect to multiple networks. Okay, now you wanted to access flipkart.com, which is here. Just for example, this is one XYZ vendor and this is you sitting at home, and just understand how this works, the background. So when you type flipkart.com or when you open your application, you are accessing the internet from your router, and there is a backbone here. So this could be lease line, MPLS, etc. But the home internet is internet lines. You call it as lease line service, ISP. And this has connectivity to multiple networks at the backend, and they have connectivity towards this provider. Simple. The motto of networking is to establish communication between multiple devices in any form. All right, whether it is wired, wireless, 5G, LTE, whatever it is. Yeah, so coming back, I don't know why I'm getting this ads. I'll try to figure it out. Okay. Yeah. See, even at cloud, you will have the same set of, uh, you know, the switches, firewalls, routers, and everything. Few might reduce, but however, these all are virtual, and you don't need to care about most of the things. Okay. I'll tell you more detail as you go forward. Okay, now challenges with on-prem. If you see this, yeah, you definitely have some limitations. As you recently know, people are moving to cloud, blah blah blah, etc. And even the AI part, right? The new technology means it has something advanced. You have some great features. That's the reason people move to the cloud, right? So now what is the challenges with on-prem? So financial and logistic constraints, high upfront cost, capex. So in a layman term, as I told, you need to put more investment initially. Okay, if you want to stay in your house at the end of the day, You need to put complete investment, and then you can enjoy your home, right? That's how you can stay. And scalability, uh, let's say, uh, just for an example, okay, you built your data center or your home, for an example, for 10 applications. So just for those 10 applications, you have got your required infra, whether it is how much TB of RAM, hard disk, blah 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 at your server, and the router models, firewall models, everything. You got something. Now, tomorrow your business increased immediately or rapidly. So there is no flexibility to extend your data center. Yeah, you might be having a future plan for 20 applications, but however, if it is going more, it's not. Okay. So that scalability part at on-prem is not there. That's how the cloud is very helpful. And the overhead. So continuous burden of hardware lifecycle management, the physical maintenance, and the mandatory refresh cycles. So these are all the challenges of on-prem. See, one simple point, capex, more capex instead of opex. All right. So if you see on the right hand side, the operational reality, on-prem doesn't fail technically. It fails operationally and financially at scale. All right. This is funny, right? If you see, that's a so funny statement what I kept in. But definitely, let's understand your reality part. Okay. Let's understand the reality. See now, in the same house, okay. Just take an example. This house can accommodate only 10 people. Okay. In your home, there are 10 people. You thought, okay, your cousins will come, so that's the reason you built it for 20 people as a future plan. But just for an example, there is a function, there is more, something more. This can't withstand. Now you need to get into function hall, right? So, and that again costs more along with the house cost. uh, I'm trying to give you an example in a layman terms, but uh, when you talk about scalability, scalability is nothing but increasing at ease and rapid pace. All right. If my existing data center or the server is built for 20 applications, and if I want to try new things, and if it needs to extend beyond that, it takes a lot of time to get new hardware. You know, if you want to get a router, switches, firewalls, hardware physically, it takes a lot of time. But in cloud, believe me, you can do it within minutes. All right. So it's that easy and super helpful. So what is cloud? It's simple. Okay. So now AWS, Azure, or you take Google Cloud example. So it's a provider hosted and internet accessed, pay as you go model, services instead of hardware. All right. Uh, so there is already infrastructure that is available or built. So what you need to do is you will just use it and pay for it. That's why they call it as pay as you go model. So you need to understand the shift in the mindset, the cloud mindset. So in cloud, you don't manage hardware, you consume services. All right. That's the high level motto for you. All right. So just as an example, uh, now if you go to a hotel, what you will do is you will enjoy the ambience. All right. You might have some food or drinks, you pay for it, and then you come back. But if you want to have the same thing in your home, you need to put more upfront cost, and you can't try new ambience each and every day. It's the same ambience every day. So the mindset what you have in cloud is you can try different things and different flavors with minimum cost instead of putting more capex. So it's OpEx. All right. So now coming to the cloud networking basics, uh, everything mostly remains same, but instead of hardware defined networking, it is software defined networking. So instead of networks at on-prem, you will have virtual networks, subnets, public and private both. So uh, ideally, public subnets are for the external facing users, and private subnets are for internal users or the resources, uh, where you want to keep those things private. Let's say your DB server doesn't needs to be exposed onto the cloud. Your all internal users need not to communicate to external forces. So that's how you do. So we'll get more into more details. And you have software based firewalls instead of hardware, and you will have virtual routing. So the core principle of the cloud networking is software defined networking. All right. Okay. Let's just quickly look into this, the on-prem and the cloud architecture. See, everything is simple. There is nothing new. If you see on the left hand side, right hand side, the only point or the critical shift here is everything remains same, but except the implementation approach. At on-prem, you have everything physical, where you know and you need to manage that, including cabling part and the power and everything. On the cloud, you need not to, but the main aspect in terms of networking is, or the architecture is, you will have things virtually. You will have virtual firewalls, you will have virtual machines, you will have virtual networks. As simple as that. All right. So, what stays same? As I said, right? The IP addressing, the routing, and firewall rules and everything remain same. And the good news is, see, if you understand the networking basics, you can understand cloud networks very easily, ideally. It's just the interpretation, how you need to know. All right. See, I would always say, see, nowadays people directly wanted to get into the implementations, cloud. I don't want to. I also hear from people that, Ravi, no, I don't want to learn about on-prem networking. I want to learn about only cloud networking. Okay. See, for me, especially, that's not recommended. All right. You can do, but you will not understand the depth. Anyone who is trying to learn cloud networking or want to get into cloud networking, at least learn the basic networking concepts of CCNA. If you want to get certified, yes, it's well and good, but you need to understand that practically, because that CCNA course teaches you what is the basic networking and how systems are connected and how it can be connected, and the different topologies in it, and the basic protocols and different types of approaches it has. Okay. So that's a very fundamental step in the journey of networking. So make sure you follow that path. All right. So you might feel that, okay, it's all now virtual, we are going ahead, but still there are companies. All right. And it will take definitely a good amount of time for this transition to happen. But if you know both the things, then you are uh, in demand. As simple as that. Okay. All right. See, it's just that, okay, a 90s kid trying to follow his 90s mindset and also Gen Z's way of thinking, so that you make people understand what is right and what is wrong. So you learn your CCNA, that's the basics and morality of networking, and from there on you can get into everywhere. Okay, as I told, what changes in cloud? It's the elimination of hardware, software defined control, native resilience. Um, Elimination of hardware, I don't need to explain much. All right. Um, and software defined control, yes, everything is API driven, everything works on just one click. So if you want to build a router, you get into the marketplace or for a third party NVA, or if it is a cloud native firewall, you go there, click the firewall, and it will start running. It's all API means application programmable interface. It just works on a click, as simple as that. Got it? And native resilience, see, as you know, native in the sense my own. If I'm doing something on AWS, it's AWS native. If I'm doing something on Azure, it's Azure native. There are few network devices or even applications which are cloud native, so that they are built with more resilience instead of third party applications, so that you don't need to re-engineer more there. So yeah, the new mindset in cloud, you design networks but not track them. Simple. Okay, you utilize the service, but you don't need to care about other things. You pay for your service, that's all. uh, Advantages of a cloud networking. So this is something I'll spend 2 more minutes. uh, Point one, yes, faster deployment, easy scalability, high availability, security, global reach, blah blah blah. So the ultimate point is speed of the cloud. What takes months at on-prem takes minutes on cloud. I'll come to this now. Okay, let's take a new sheet now. Okay, so see, if I wanted to buy a firewall, deploy a firewall, the first part here is I need to do my planning. Okay, how many users, what size, what capacity, what model. Then procurement. So here finance team, everyone has got involved. Then waiting period. If I order today, let's take it as a day one. Okay, easily it will take minimum day 30. I'm just giving a minimum timing for network devices nowadays. Okay, then racking and stacking. The device has delivered, now you need to rack and stack the device. You need to check the power, cooling, electricity, blah blah blah, the space in data center. Okay, then you connect the console cable to the firewall or the switch, configure it, put the cables to core switch. Oh my god, isn't it hectic, right? Now what happens onto the cloud? This is on-prem. Okay, this is on-prem. My bad. Okay, my diagrams are very weird, sorry for that. I will learn this as I continue, because yeah, I'm never a presentation guy. I mean, at this modem. Okay, now cloud, what you do is simply you go to the cloud, just click it, configure it, that's all. So you avoid all these phases and you can directly jump into the configuration mode. These phases will be there definitely, okay, but not everything, not racking, stacking, blah blah blah, planning and procurement. But that's all done in minutes if you already have the approvals. So just understand this mindset. Yes, just a quick clarification. On-premises cloud, these are the comparison metrics for you. And these are the key parameters: cost, scalability, availability, automation, maintenance. High upfront capex, and here it is OPEX. You need to just pay for what you used. Scalability, if you want to order again a new firewall or server, it might take weeks or months, and here it is instantly. Availability, so you need to do everything manual planning, complex, and here you have built in multi AZ. So multi AZ is nothing but multiple availability zones. So I'll talk about that more in coming sessions. It's just that you will have multiple data centers for redundancy, as simple as that, whether it is in your own city or different state or region. Automation, it's very limited at on-prem, and on cloud you can utilize any ISE tools. I mean, infrastructure as a code tools. Then maintenance complete, it's your responsibility, and it's provider manager responsibility. All right. See, one good thing I wanted to tell you on cloud, you can try anything. Simple. See, whether you are a learner or you are already building a network for your company, you can try different things when you have good planning. See, today, if I from my starting, if I only concentrate only on some firewalls like Checkpoint or Cisco. So if I want to try or learn a new firewall, it will just take for me few days to learn a firewall there. That's all, nothing else. I don't need to put more investment. I will either go into the AWS or Azure, create my account. I will build the firewalls with the trial versions. So there I get minimum 30 days trial version. You are incurred only with infrastructure costs, a little bit. That's all. You learn it and you close it, so that you can try different options whatever you have on the cloud. I'm giving you an example from a cloud and perspective, but for anyone it is very easy to try it on cloud. Okay, so now that comes to the final presentation for the day, as we get into more definitely hands-on. So who should learn this? It's as simple as that. So the network engineers, existing network engineers, firewall engineers, sysadmins, and the cloud beginners, IT students. Okay. So cloud networking is not a replacement; it's an evolution, and you need to understand that. Any new tool that is coming, even now AI, it's not a replacement. Just think in that way. It's an evolution. You need to upskill to the latest technologies. Otherwise, honestly, it will replace you. So you need to make use of both the things, very calmly and precisely. Okay. Now that's coming to an end now. What's next? What's coming up? So as I told, this is just an initial version where we are going at. Okay, and the basics of cloud networking. So as we go deeper, I'll talk about more about the infrastructure and the availability zones. You can get that in Google, that's for sure. Everything you can get it in Google in a different way. But you just need to understand, first of all, how I'm going to teach you. And here you will see the real-time implementations. So once I'm done with this basics in the next session, so what I'll do is ideally I will get into more real-time implementations, like creating VPCs, what is transit gateway, what is NAT gateway, and how to use it, how do you put the routing, and the more fun part or the more interesting part, what I like is building up a complete network. Okay, So you will build EC2 machines, and you will integrate native firewalls. You will also integrate third-party firewalls and configure them, like Fortinet, SharePoint, Cisco ASA, cloud native firewalls. There are now it will be more interesting as you go deeper. Thank you so much for your time. Uh, I will learn more as I grow. All right, in this field, but feel free to provide your feedback, and thank you so much. I'll see you in the next session.